Streaming is live. Hurry Up Sunday,
Yeah,
episode 24. So yeah,
24? Oh
as I was
my
saying,
goodness,
like, yeah, that's how the cocaine comes into the country. Yeah. No, oh no, wait, we weren't supposed to talk about that
crazy.
on air.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
When are you coming to Australia again?
That's right. I've been like exercising that, like my ass just to hold really clench.
That's where you're getting all the worms out.
That's right,
Extra room.
Yeah, they've been helping clean it all out.
Yeah.
Dear. Um, Yeah, no. What I was saying, what was it? I just found out today there 19 of the schools here in Malaysia have closed because, surprise, surprise, COVID outbreaks. Because we're like
Awesome.
2,000, 2,500 per day again that
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
catching from testing. Like, I don't know how much they're
yeah.
actually testing, but yeah, they're only
Or how
hitting.
much people are coming in for testing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Mm.
yeah, I think people are still afraid to come in because it had been that if you caught with it, that's it. You're like locked up in isolation in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's not the best way to encourage participation.
No, and particularly because the rest of the country is open. Basically, it's not
Yeah,
completely
yeah,
open.
yeah.
Like you still can't travel interstate.
Yeah. So
Um,
you go from relatively normal life to
yeah, just lockdown two
I'm
weeks.
I'm in a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the numbers might be higher than what they're projecting, or not projected, that
Yeah.
they're stating. But anyway, uh, the schools are like shutting because kids bring it in and spread it around,
Yeah.
and the Ministry of Health or Ministry of Education, one of those two, has said all teachers need to supply their details now to the government, and we'll line you up for being in the second phase of vaccinations rather than like
Oh, okay.
fourth or fifth or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah,
so that they can keep the schools open. Because also, when
yeah,
you're sending all the kids home, it means a parent has to be at home looking after the kids, which means someone
yeah,
has to stay back from work, which kind of slows the
yeah,
economy again.
yeah. Well, they've been having trouble with that, like here,
Oh,
even
really?
even here. Like, yeah, it's just
Oh,
like they've tried to keep. That's why they kept all the schools open as much as possible, because it's just like as soon as people stay home,
yeah,
then that's what happens, and you just end up with. I mean, it was the same in America. Like they had, it's all the same. It's like as soon as you close a school, you lose 30 people per classroom
yeah,
out of work.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I got out of there because I was doing full time, and then it was like COVID hit, and we were like, don't really want our daughter in a childcare after school, so
yeah,
I went to casual,
yeah.
and now I'm like only working till 2 o'clock so I can pick up Sophia,
Jeez. Yeah.
and it's like you just don't,
Yeah, what else can you
you know,
do, right?
yeah, it's like you don't want to, and it's not even really about her catching it. It's like it's about her giving it to someone.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
'cause she should be fine.
Yeah, that's
But
what some of my students have been saying. It's like, we'll get by, but my
yeah,
grandparents,
yeah, exactly.
goodness knows.
Yeah, because I'll be like visiting my mum. She's like 70 something,
Yeah.
and we we see old people all the time,
Yeah.
just in the shops and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like
Well,
just
I
too
mean,
easy to.
you've smoked a cigarette once in your life, right? So you're basically susceptible now. It's like, yeah, no, it is. It's a worry, and that's the worry that a lot of the families are experiencing. And so I'm pretty sure, like a lot of them are
Yeah,
just keeping their kids at home, to do online
yeah.
schooling.
And now with all this uncertainty about the vaccines, it's getting even
Oh
worse.
man, that one's
So
so crazy.
it's so annoying.
Yeah,
It's it's so weird because on the one hand they were suppressing it
mm,
all over social media when it first came, like people were doubting it just because it hadn't been properly like it hadn't gone through all the tests that it normally goes through.
yeah,
Like so that everyone was like, "Oh, shouldn't be taking this."
Yeah.
And I was quite bullish. I was like, yeah, yeah, no, if they're happy to give it to us, then it should be fine. Because I
Yeah.
didn't see, I, I don't know how they could have, like, yeah, I don't know why they would have even released it if they thought this would happen. But obviously it didn't get through to that. So, and it's a very rare side effect.
Yeah.
So their studies would have had to been huge to catch it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, and then now like our prime minister is like, oh, you can get the same, this is the same danger as taking the pill, or it's the same danger
Is
as
it the
this
same
and
danger as
that.
getting the flu vaccine?
I don't know. I don't
Somebody
take
was trying
that.
to tell
So
me that one today. I'm like, what?
yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was,
They're
but
playing it
but it's like,
down. Yeah.
but both sides are so highly charged. It's like there's the anti-vax, like not full anti-vax, like supports all other vaccines, but anti-vax to this one,
Okay. Yeah.
who are magnifying this, and then it's the pro-vax, um, who are like trying to diminish it to the point where it's like every single person that dies of a blood clot, it's just still called suspected.
Oh God. That's
It's like there
that's
may be,
inflammatory. Yeah.
and it's like every news article you read about it, the suspected case, it may be like connected. It's like I'm pretty sure she didn't just spontaneously have a blood clot like 12 hours after she had the vaccine, just like everyone else
Yeah.
that had that happen.
Yeah. Well, the
So
number I saw reported was like they gave out. I can't remember one of the vaccines. Um, 7 million doses of it.
yeah,
6 people had negative side effects. One of those 6 died.
yeah,
And that was enough
yeah,
to like, whoa, stop this thing.
yeah. Which is it's it's hard because it's like it's way lower than the actual death rate,
Yeah, that's right.
but at the same time, it's like I don't know if I said this last time. It's like, do you want to be like making the decision to kill yourself by accident? It's like it's like COVID is like I'm protecting myself. I'm
Yeah.
doing all the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yes and
you know what I
no.
mean? It's like
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
like
I guess because it's so new. Like if
yeah,
everyone's been taking this vaccine and having to have it every year for the past 10 years and the numbers were super low, like that would be okay with it because we do the same thing jumping in the car every day. It's like I got to get to work and the chances of me dying on the road are actually, a fair bit higher than.
yeah, no, that is true. But it's the like it's the focus of it.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
like
it is.
I am gonna go make a decision to go put that needle in my arm today,
Yeah.
and maybe I win the lottery in a negative sense.
Yeah. No,
So
it's being told in
that's
the
a,
wrong way is the problem. It's
yeah,
being
and
like,
it's
if you have this, there's a 0.00001% chance that you're going to die from
yeah,
this, as opposed to like, if you don't have this, you may catch COVID and there's like a 0.005% chance that you'll die from it.
yeah, yeah, and
Or
it's
you can get the
and the other
vaccine and you'll probably reduce that to a far lower number. So, you know,
yeah. Well, now they're in Australia. They've in the last week they've relented and are giving people under 50 a choice.
all
So
right.
it's like if you're under 50, you can choose which vaccine,
Yeah.
um, which is a way better way it's a way better way to go about it. You should be able to choose anyway.
Yeah.
Um, but it, you, it's again, it comes down to like one decision versus being unlucky. It's like both of
Yeah.
them are unlucky, but one of them you decided to do something, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's where it is. It's like
I'm gonna see
it's
if I
and
can
also
show you this video on the one Ramirez sent me on AstraZeneca. Hold on, it's so funny. Let's see if I can line it up right.
uh, uh, we're gonna get censored for that one.
I was like, she sent me this, and I can't remember who she said. Oh, that's right. It was my my cousin sent that one right to her, and she's like, "Oh my god, what is he doing? What is he? Oh." It's just the
Yeah.
sense of humor on some people is hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Twitter. The internet brings it out of people.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, it's showing the ridiculousness of the whole way the narrative's being told about it.
Yeah,
It's like
and
I still think the AstraZeneca one is a pretty damn safe and reliable one to take. Um,
yeah, but it's like for the reason why they did under 50 is because I think you're more likely to die from the injection after instead of the virus. Because
mm,
the virus is a bell curve
oh,
of
right,
with age.
right,
So
yeah.
it's like I think 50 and over, it's
Yeah, it starts
more like
peaking, and then
it's yeah,
75, it's really up
yeah,
there. Yeah,
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 because
right.
it's very skewed to the age.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
right.
but at the same time, the biggest problem, and I think the biggest problem is that we've taken so long and we haven't kept this down. Like the coronavirus, it's now mutated so many times. The that Pfizer and I think was it Johnson and Johnson. I'm not sure. Puppy, stop that. Um, Pfizer and Johnson are now saying this might become like a yearly shot, like the flu shot,
Yeah, right.
um, because all they're going to be doing is chasing the next mutations and
Yeah,
trying to like combat those.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I
so it's
think you
like,
sent one of those articles saying the South
yeah,
African variant may already evade the vaccine.
it actually makes you, if you take the Pfizer one, it makes you 8 times more likely to get the South African one.
Right. Does it mitigate the like bad factors of the South
I
African
don't
one
think
though?
I don't think they mentioned it, and I don't think the
Okay.
South African one's that bad. It's more contagious, but I
Oh.
think it's actually more mild,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
from what I understand. But the fact that there's like 3 or 4 different viruses now,
Yeah.
it's like almost too late because that's the ones they've detected.
Yeah.
How many are just not getting detected that are
Yeah.
going to spring up
That's
into
right.
a
And it,
population large enough
yeah.
to be able to be detected?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just blowing out of control overseas. It's just like the
Yeah.
States and Europe and all that. It's
Oh,
everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I mean, at least they're
India.
the ones that are reporting on it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. A lot of the places are just dark,
Yeah.
got no information.
Yeah.
Like,
They've got like a box of
yeah,
10 swabs.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
pick pick who gets it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit crazy.
Yeah, but as part of the like the ministry rollout thing, so we're looking to be put into a fairly early stage of getting it because we're teachers at
Oh yeah,
schools.
yeah, you're a teacher. Yeah,
But I don't know if we know which one we're getting.
yeah,
And it's like we have the Sinovac one here, which I don't think is recognized in Australia.
yeah. Well, also, even the Chinese were like, "Oh yeah, Sinovac doesn't do
Yeah,
much."
I saw that. Like their Minister of Health, like that head of the CDC, whatever it is over there, was like, yeah, they don't really work. And then he's like, I
It's
meant
just
all vaccines. I meant all vaccines.
it's just water. Like,
Yes. Dear.
we just put a bit of tiger penis in it
Yeah.
and just injected it into their arm.
Um, but given that it's not recognized, it's like, well, if I have to have that, and then I gotta go to Australia, and then like Australia's like, yeah, we don't
They
recognize
might
it.
want to,
You need to go have a different vaccine. It's like, oh, great. Now I'm gonna have two
yeah.
different weird vaccines floating around
But
inside me.
but they've decided that you don't have to get it here. Like
Oh,
in
it's
Australia, it's not
not
mandatory.
not
Yeah,
mandatory.
no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
It's
Well, I need to check
Victoria
because
was
like
trying.
I'd like to travel. Hello, puppy.
She's too friendly. Yes, just come. Look that way. Look,
Puppy. Hello.
look.
No.
Oh,
Born,
Much,
not
much.
born for the
Wow.
camera.
Wow.
Hello.
Look.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, you're so cute.
Dear.
Okay.
How old is your dog now?
Nearly 2.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. We were just watching a video from 2019.
Mm,
When we like when she's the
little
little
handful.
grub stage where they're just like balls of fluff and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
so cute.
jeez, 2 years ago. Actually, that was the other stat. What was it? They're talking about. I think Biden announced he's going to pull out the troops from the Afghanistan,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like, well, that war actually started 20 years ago.
yeah. It's insane.
2001 was the thing. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my god, that's a
yeah.
that's already a long time that they've been there fighting this war.
I can see you, but I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Oh, no, I can hear you now. No, I
Okay.
hear you.
Yeah. No, it
You're like
was.
that's a.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. No, that's a long time to be fighting a war. 20 years. Um.
It's ridiculous, and it's been so scaled down for so long, and the Taliban have been so dominant for so long.
Yeah.
Um, it's like it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I'm assuming America's just been using it for data to like
I
see
thought.
what works now. I
I
don't
thought
think
they're
that.
using it to like secure their oil pipelines or whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with all this intelligence, counterintelligence bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like I can't see. I mean, obviously you've got the industrial complex, military industrial complex,
Yeah.
that's trying to earn money, so they're making hand over fist.
Yeah.
But okay, let's say it this way, it would be a good chance to test some freaky stuff in the middle of the desert on people that can't do anything. Whether it happens or not
Yeah.
is another thing.
I'm not sure
But
I like the way your mind works, Simon.
yeah,
It's like, this is a perfect place to run experiment X. Yeah, no, but yeah, you
well,
probably
it's like I mean,
probably
think
right.
about all the people. But I mean, think about the scientists, right? The guys and the engineers that develop these weapons. They're like, now, if you actually pack trapezoidal bits of metal into a ball, when it releases, it causes 5% more flesh damage. I'm sure that it's that honed in these crazy things. So it's
Yeah,
like
I guess
the
so.
amount the amount of brain power
Yeah,
people have spent thinking about murdering people is
yeah, or like
just ridiculous.
surveillance, ground surveillance with drone swarms and stuff. It's like, how do we coordinate a drone swarm to get best coverage of an
Yeah,
area so that we can give full guidance to our
yeah,
troops and
yeah, exactly.
get them basically
Yeah,
Halo equipped?
exactly. Like they're doing what did I sent you that, didn't I?
Did you?
Did I send you that a while ago?
I got one with a guy with a cord up his butt. Wasn't that one right?
Secret weapon.
Oh, the caption on that alone. This man is controlling a robot with his butthole. For the win.
Oh, yeah, it was just too funny.
Yeah.
But
See if
no,
I'll
it's
slide it
it's
on
the
there.
Microsoft has released the HoloLenses for the troops, and I really thought I said it. And it's now like basically it's augmented reality for troops, and it's in like they basically wear this crazy setup in front of their eyes with like 4 or 5 different lenses on it, and it projects the image from outside into like you can go into low light, you can go into highlight, you can um, make targets more visible in its surroundings and stuff like that, using like like it's looking for facial recognition and bodies and stuff like that. So it's like, you imagine people in camouflage, and you're trying to hide,
Mm.
and the AI is like, "Beep, beep, beep,"
Yeah.
like, and now it's just turned you bright yellow.
Yeah.
So it's.
Oh, that's yeah. It's getting a bit unfair. Like, what is it? One of my students is top notch at his Counter Strike, and I'm watching videos of his gameplay, and he's so skilled at knowing where to shoot and how to shoot
Yeah,
targets that I can't actually register the target anymore when I'm watching it. He's just like he
yeah.
sees it from afar, zoom bang, dead. It's
Wow.
like, what? How did you score that hit? I don't even understand how you scored that, but because he's
Yeah,
so used to like the display giving the information he needs to recognize how to hit these things, it
yeah,
becomes like there's no way I would have reaction time to stop that. I'd just be like, if I was out on the battlefield and somebody was that well trained, there's no way I'd be able to do anything about it. You'd be there and
yeah,
and so if they've got that equipment and you're there in your camo trying to like spot your target, and the next thing
yeah,
is some dude's got like all this advantage on you, you're gone.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like imagine when it starts extrapolating through materials and it's just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the other one they're doing is having I can't remember what it's called. It's like a war. I don't think it's called War Buddy, but it's like it's it's a drone that flies next. Oh, I think it's called Wingman. It's like a drone that flies next to the ships, so everyone gets a wingman, and it's like an AI powered drone that's equipped with missiles and everything that will like. Do you remember computer games? Well, I mean, you obviously remember computer games, but do you remember when
What?
you used? But do you remember when you used to get power ups on spaceships, and you get like a little satellite that would
Oh
like
yeah.
shoot things, and
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
ex it's exactly like that.
Oh Jesus.
So you get like a wingman that will like obviously give its life to you and make you harder to hit and give you more firepower and stuff like that.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
pretty
just
crazy stuff.
checking make sure that the stream health is okay. I'm getting like
Uh,
an error message.
uh-oh.
So keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Current keyframes are not being set off enough, which can cause buffering.
Do
I
you want to
don't.
set the lag a bit more?
I guess so. I'd set normal latency.
Oh, okay.
This should be the right number because we don't have interactions.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh well, it still looks like it's playing. We'll find out
Cool.
afterwards.
Yeah. Well, we had 9 people watch our video last time. Well, 9 views.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's my editing.
Is it?
Mostly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
There's two of mine. I know that.
Okay, yeah. No, I go on there to like change the thumbnails and do all that stuff.
Ah, okay.
So add stuff on. So, um, but I mean, that's cool. We'll who knows? Maybe we get the odd person clicking here and there, or maybe it's a bot tracking
Or
us.
just accidentally.
Yeah,
What's this? Oh, Jesus Christ. Turn it off.
yeah. How do I downvote? No one's downvoted us yet. That's a big plus. So I know they're not watching.
Mm.
uh,
But yeah, they got that, and then I guess we might as well go into the aliens. Um,
yeah. So, right, you sent me one that you were like freaking out about.
yeah, so that's the green, that triangle thing,
Okay,
which
because
is
the link that I got at that, it was like it was to the news site of like breaking stories, and so I had a whole bunch of weird stories on there about like the ABC crew filming
uh,
some Navy ship
I know
dance or something. I was like,
I know
huh?
I think I
Whoa,
realized that it was.
man, blowing my mind. Yeah,
No, I think because it was, I caught it when it was a breaking story. I think it just goes in the feed of breaking stories.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah, good.
Um, but yeah, so there's like, I think we talked about the drones a
From the
couple weeks
ships,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, that's from 2019,
Yeah,
and they were still calling them unmanned drones or UAPs or something.
yeah,
And which is like I think it's unmanned aerial phenomena or
yeah,
something.
yeah. That's what that is.
Um, but now they released, someone leaked the file, the footage of it, and then there was a big kerfuffle for a few days of like, no, no, that can't be real. Maybe it's real. Who
Mm,
knows? Anyway, now they've admitted that it's real.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Um,
was it Jeremy Corbell released the
yeah,
footage first, and like I think he
yeah,
sent me
on
some.
his website.
Yeah, um, triangle UAP. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so
he released the footage first, and like because he's a bit of a character as far as
yeah,
it goes for reporting. But I mean, he's linked up with the other reporter guy. What's his name?
yeah, yeah, the old guy.
Yeah, I can never remember his name, but he's the one that runs
Yeah,
like that. What's the his stream called? Mystery something or other.
yeah, I don't know, but what I do know is that it came with three
Mystery
pictures
Wire.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's where I gave you the link to on the other one.
yeah,
Yeah, so there was also three pictures that came with it. It was
yeah.
like they called it the acorn, the sphere, and something
Oh, and the
else,
blimp. Yeah,
and the
George
blimp.
Knapp is the guy's name. George Knapp.
Ah, there you go,
Yeah,
George Knapp. Yeah. So those three are basically um, those three pictures have been, I think, validated as well. I think they went
yeah.
along with it.
No,
Yeah.
it's like on Business Insider and
Yeah.
Global
Yeah, it
News
went
and
mainstream once it was validated.
yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
but the most convincing is the night vision from the boat, basically.
Mm.
Um, you don't get much reference, which makes it really hard.
No, the
Um,
weird thing is that there's like a lot of little triangles on that one.
yeah, which is what that guy was saying. That little snippet that I sent you,
Yeah,
which is a guy that I follow, alien scientist. And he was saying like there's nothing specifically extraterrestrial about it, in the sense that it could easily be the light refracting from either a bright object or because it's like the triangle sort of there's a main one and then there's like lots of ghost ones. He said
yeah,
that just looks like light refraction to me. Like you just like you're getting a bright point and it's just refracting the light off whatever you're looking through.
yeah. I mean,
And
it's
then
yeah, it's not bad footage though.
no, no, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
And but he was throwing doubt on even like he was like saying the light pattern looks very regular and normal
mm.
and things like that. But I think the things that make it weird are A, it's hovering around a Navy ship. B, that Navy ship was 100 miles out to sea.
Yeah.
And C, it was going 16 knots.
Okay. How fast is
It was
that?
traveling at, you'll have to tell me. I think a knot
16
is,
knots.
yeah, it's quite fast, I'm pretty sure. It's like 32 kilometers an hour. I
Yeah,
don't know.
30 k's per hour.
Yeah,
29.632 k's
yeah,
per
yeah, there you
hour.
go. Yeah. So, and it was following them for ages. So it's
Yeah.
like you have to have extraordinary battery power, extraordinary
Oh, yeah,
range.
to get 100 miles off coast. Yeah.
Yeah. And like to be able to maneuver it around a boat that's traveling at that speed
Yeah.
makes it incredible. It's like they're like there's no like commercial drones that'll let you do not commercial like what is the like drones for private citizens that will let you do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's
then
that's
they
what I
would
was saying, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah, so then they would have to be registered and yeah, because if it's a commercial drone or something like that,
Mm.
or it's yeah, it's something else mundane. But Because it could literally be something as crazy as just someone made a crazy drone. And
Sure.
it's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of crazy like backyard scientists in America that just make shit.
Yeah, that is potentially true as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
There's a lot of people that are like, check out this thing that I made. I've cobbled together 16 different drones
yeah,
and
someone having a bit of a
yeah,
prank or whatever.
yeah,
Sure.
exactly. So
Yeah.
so so unfortunately the footage is very blurry
Yeah.
and in night vision
Yeah.
and only 15 seconds long or something. So
Yeah. Yeah. Another unconvincing alien spotting.
but at least it's real. It's not like
Yeah. Yeah,
we're
it's
getting confirmation from a reliable source.
that's right. Yeah, it's not somebody going out with a handy cam out into the desert just going,
Yeah,
look what I managed to film, guys. Yeah, check it
yeah.
out. And yeah.
So it goes into another. It's another tick in the plausible column, like
Yeah.
of like actual things
Yeah,
that actually happened.
and what the interesting thing that's coming out of it is that it's getting to the point that the military are saying there is enough of this stuff happening. We're seeing it over military sites happening.
Yeah,
We can't explain it, and we're no longer silencing people. We're actually actively encouraging people to submit reports about this stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Because before it was the mentality was just shush it up. Don't
yeah,
put
yeah,
this in your report because this could be your career. Nowadays
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like tell us, we really actually want to know. And
yeah. Yeah, it's
I did see
very
something a little
interesting.
bit discouraging in that the June deadline for the release of papers might actually not occur because they're taking time or longer than usual to get, well, not usual, they're taking longer
Yeah,
than what they said to
yeah.
get these documents declassified. So,
Well,
yeah, it may
I'm
just
not
be another one of
too
those
worried
things.
about. I'm not too worried about the deadline. I just hope it happens, and I hope it's like thorough.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted it
Like that's the
happening
main
last
thing.
week, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I know it's exciting, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I want it to
Yeah.
be like
Or just don't do it all
it
at
needs to.
once. Just whatever you
Yeah,
got ready, start feeding us out one paper a week. We can all freak out
yeah.
over it. And what's our freak of
It'd
the
be
week
if
episode from the
I know
Pentagon?
it would be a good podcasting, but
Man, can you imagine how much media attention that would draw? There would be no talk
yeah,
about this COVID business.
no. But
Everyone just be
it's
waiting for the next alien sighting.
it is freaky that the militaries of this worry. And this is the other really weird thing is the cultural shift that's happening
Mm.
from the military denying it and all the kooks and skeptics and conspiracy theorists believing it and saying, no, 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 it is, they're covering it up, it's all secret, blah, 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 creating massive conspiracies
Yeah, yeah. The guy in the
to the,
tinfoil helmet. It's not.
yeah, to the military admitting that there's stuff, to all the kooks and skeptics and conspiracists going, nah, man, that's not real aliens.
It doesn't fit the narrative I've been spinning for the last 30
What
years, man.
what are you talking about, man? That's clearly a balloon. There's no way that there's any doubt about that.
Yeah, well, I guess if
It's
you've spent your
it's a
entire life like fighting against cover-up and conspiracy, it's pretty hard
yeah.
to like not see this as another attempt. It's like they're just
Yeah, it's like the
misdirecting
the
us again,
yeah,
man.
yeah, the gut check is like it's the man, it's got to be lying.
Yeah,
And so it's like the I just see so much pushback on it. It's crazy.
yeah,
Like it's really really weird.
yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that I find most plausible about the release of these particular videos is that there's not offered an explanation. They're not like, no, it is
Yeah.
definitely a weather balloon. It's like, look, we don't know. We just don't know
Yeah.
yet. Please
Yeah,
keep sending in
exactly.
stuff so we can analyze it better and get some idea of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, and that it's interesting you mentioned that pushback thing because I, I'm liking my going into the crazy conspiracy theory things just to see where it all originates and so on. And so I've been looking at crop circles again for a little while,
Oh yeah, yeah, I know you said that one.
and man, those are funny ones. The
Yeah.
You had like the dudes that came out, those farmers or the artists. What was it? They were landscape artists. Came out in the 80s saying it was
with
them with
with the
a
boards
yeah with
and
the
the
board
string and like
ropers. Yeah, string.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and like it's an interesting tale they tell because
Yeah.
like yeah, sure, you can definitely make patterns in crops doing that. Some of the designs that have come out, the parts that annoy me the most about it is that there's not been proper actual sightings of people creating them.
Yeah.
Like some of these ones are highly detailed, really
Mm.
interesting drawings. Some of them are like written in binary code telling the formula for pi. One is Euler's theory, which is like a much more apparently mathematically interesting version of creating a circle. Like it's a much, I don't know what they call it, like a much better, like a much more elegant way
Oh,
of
okay.
producing this
Yeah.
sort of thing. So it's a much better
You got to
formula.
be careful because some of them I found have been just CG. Like
Yeah,
so.
no, that's right.
Yeah.
These the ones that I'm talking about are actual like proper.
Oh, okay.
They've had
Documented ones.
people go
Yeah.
out do soil sample tests. They're checking the fibers of the actual crops that are damaged to see how they were damaged and what happened to them and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because there's also a lot of patterns out there that it's just like complete nonsense.
Yeah.
Um, but it's there was when the crop circles were first occurring, nobody knew what was going on, and there's stories saying that this stuff originated in the 70s. There's others saying no, this has actually been going on for a long time, like hundreds of years already, pretty much as long as people have been doing crops.
Yeah.
But like there was a huge explosion around the Stonehenge area, so whatever that place is called, and
Stonehenge.
yeah, it's like a the name of a fields or all the land around it,
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah.
they're the ones that are appearing there. Like some of them are damaged crops, so they look like yep, people have done this with a board. Others are ones that have been like superheated, and there's these small bits of like crystalline structures that have been created in the soil underneath the crops. And they're
Mhm.
saying like the way you reproduce that is by using high heat microwave
Oh,
technology.
okay.
And they're like, look,
Yeah, I
we
think I was reading that in the article
an
you sent.
article I sent. Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
they're saying you can make that. You just take out the microwave bit from a microwave, and you strap them onto a board or something,
Yeah.
and you just
Pretty
charge it with a powerful battery source.
pretty dangerous. But
Yeah, yes. And also like you got to use it to make these huge patterns in the crops.
yeah.
And again, all this stuff is happening without anyone seeing it,
Hmm.
which has been the tough part. But there are people like saying, no, we've found ways to get past the motion sensors that you set up, and we've like managed to get past the guards that have been sent up around certain fields and still do it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's plausible to some extent. I don't doubt like there's creative
Yeah.
people out there working this stuff out. I also don't doubt that some of it is like set up to be a bit of a hoax so that you can generate this crop circle tourism, because that
Oh
has been
yeah. Yeah. It'd be
generating a lot.
huge. Yeah. Yeah. Especially in the
Um,
'90s when it first came out.
yeah,
Like
yeah, it
even
was,
Led Zeppelin, they put that on their remastered album.
yeah,
They
exactly.
like put the big crop circle on the
Yeah.
on the thing.
Um,
So yeah.
So when hoaxes, well, when the people that were making these ones came out, some people were so invested in the story of it being like aliens communicating and so on that it's like it's pretty hard to change the narrative or to accept the crop, like the
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
making the hoax.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I want to see more research on whether or not this stuff is more than just a hoax.
Yeah.
But like I type it in, crop circles, are they a hoax? And you get these articles that are just like, it's a picture of a crop circle and then one paragraph underneath saying it was these two farmers. The whole thing was a hoax.
Yeah.
And then there's these other articles that are much longer that it's like, well, we took the soil samples, we did measurements of the crops. Some of them, the actual damage, the crop wasn't broken, it was melted over.
Yeah.
And that's indicative of the way that these stems were all damaged in this thing. They need to be hit to 600 to 800 degrees Celsius for a short amount of time in order to have that kind of damage, because being pushed over makes a different impact on the stem. And so it's like, well, that's pretty cool. Has anyone seen anything interesting about like what those crop circles are for? And then that's where you get all these like some sites that just give crackpot theories, but there's not much interpretation of them going on. Like either I'm not digging deep enough, or I haven't found a good site to source, because there's literally like one or two spots that just say, this one here is a binary code representing this. This one here is like a different, when you use this number sequence, it represents that. Because otherwise it's just like, oh, these are pretty cool patterns in the crop.
Yeah, the problem is there's so many layers of trust that you have to go through. It's like,
that's the big
you have to go through the fact that they did the science in good faith.
Yeah.
And that they, you know, there's so many, and like even the interpretations is like, are they just trying to fit, you know, it in, or it?
Yeah, is it aliens or is it not?
Well, I mean, also like when you say Euler's circle or whatever it is, Euler's theorem.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just some dude's theorem. It's like they may be putting that in there, but it's like,
oh yeah, that's our interpretation, you know what I mean? Of what this thing could be.
No, but it's like they're trying to fit that in there. It's like they're like, see, I'm gonna think of Euler's theorem, and then I'll look at this picture, and it becomes like a Rorschach, you know. It's like you just and that little twig there represents the delta, and this one over here is the theta, and you know, it's like you can just create patterns, you know, unless the crop circle actually had the actual formula written in mathematical code. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many levels in these things where it's like you have to trust what the guy's telling you.
Yeah, the one for pi was pretty good. It was like a circular pattern, spiraling outwards, and it would be like arcs of 1/36th of a turn. So you had 36 points to make a rotation. So and so like obviously the first one is 3, so it would like move through 3/36, and then it would extend out 1, and there was like a decimal point symbol right below that one, and then the rest was digits, so I'd go 1/36 and then go out 1, and then 9 or whatever the 3.14528. Well, I can't remember. But like it fit that pattern exactly in this like spiraling circle outwards. So that one was pretty cool. And some of them like are pretty specific set of numbers, but others it's like when you run this formula through it backwards and then you align it with this star up in the sky at this point in time of the date, that it actually represents a comet that was coming through 3 years after that point, and it's just like it could be.
This is what I mean. It's because everything is fractal in nature. It's like you can zoom out or zoom in enough to make the pattern fit. You know, it's like if you zoom out too far, it won't fit. If you zoom in too far, it won't fit. But if you get the right like distance, there it is. You know, and there
was this really funny one. You know, there was that picture of Jesus on the bit of cloth or whatever, right? There's that like famous
the Shroud of Turin.
And there was a particular set of crop circles that they were like just a whole bunch of dots in a field, but then the guy like took there were two fields next to each other with these things, and the guy like took the aerial photo of it, overlaid them, and then it formed the image of Jesus
Yeah,
on the
which was
shroud
already
of Turin.
debunked.
Yeah, and it's like, uh huh.
Well, the Shroud of Turin's not even real anyway, so
Yeah, I mean, didn't someone see in a piece of burnt toast or whatever? It's like, come
oh
on.
yeah, this the other one was it's the same with the Buddha. It's like there was so many
Re-
relics,
yeah, so many relics.
like bone and all these like things that it would make way too many people.
Yeah,
And
he would have been a
like
giant.
there's always those bits of real cross
Yeah,
from
right.
Jesus's crucifixion.
Yeah,
It's like you could make like a million various places.
yeah, yeah, exactly. No, like, look, if you wanted to actually have an authentic expression of are these crop circles anything or not, you get yourself a field, you put a large mathematical question represented in a particular way on the field, and then you wait for a reply that comes back in that format.
And that doesn't have hasn't been solved already. That would be a good one.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if it hasn't been solved, that'd be awesome. That'd be like incredible. But
Yeah.
you also have like you set up an area, you have a bunch of like sensors set up just to
But
stop people getting in.
yeah, it just seems so weird. Like
Yeah.
I
Um,
mean that and the like dissection of cows and like
oh yeah.
the abductions and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It just seems so weird. It's like
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of that stuff yet. There's apparently a one by Jeremy Corbell called the Skinwalker Ranch, something like that.
oh okay.
And it has to do like with those sites that kind of there was one particular place where a lot of that kind of animal mutilation and weird stuff kept happening over and
But I
over.
just it's just so weird. Like why would
Yeah.
you do it?
Yeah, well, so
It's
so the crackpot theory that I saw that came out of looking at these crop circles was that however many years ago it was, the Greys, this particular race of aliens, the Greys, they're the little grey men kind of thing. They swapped a whole bunch of technology with governments in order to be allowed to do as much probing and like dissection of animals and people and whatever. But then a message came in the crop circle saying, "Do not trust the
yeah.
previous people. There are good forces out there, but do not believe like these others who have led you astray," kind of crap. And I was just like, it's gone too far already.
Are you the one that's watching X-Files? Oh no, Dad, my brother is.
Uh,
He's currently rewatching
oh,
all of X-Files.
oh yeah,
I'm sure that was in. Wasn't it like there was the guys that like had their mouth and eyes shut sewn up, and then there was the like the other ones, and it was like a interstellar battle between the good ones and the bad ones.
oh,
Pretty sure that was the X-Files plot.
probably. It's been quite a long while. Like I know they
Yeah,
reran them in Australia on the TV, and I saw a couple when I was there a few years back. And I was like, oh, I
yeah,
remember these Mulder and Scully, the Freak of the Week episodes. They were kind of fun,
yeah.
but like,
But he's saying he's really getting into it. He's like, oh, I hardly watched any of these because I was a bit too young,
oh yeah,
so
oh,
I just remembered them.
they were well
But he
written.
said
They had great
yeah, he
amount
said
of
it's actually
suspense in each
really well
episode.
done.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah,
it is a
no,
great series.
it
They
was
tried rebooting it, didn't work.
he,
I think.
no that was a bit much,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's very funny. So what other topics did we have that So I don't have my phone on
Oh,
me.
okay.
Normally I'm like searching through stuff.
What did you send me? Solar switch off rule to extend to EV chargers, pools,
Uh,
pumps, and something. I didn't actually
so
look
this
at that
is
one.
more mundane, but it's really annoying. So
Okay.
it's about government overreach. So it's basically um, in South Australia now, they can
Mm.
switch off your solar power if there's too much if there's too much power,
Oh.
right? So if there's like basic because it's like you've got your peak load and you've got your
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
what you call
I remember you
the
saying
low
like it
point
was causing
of how much electricity.
a stagnation in the grid or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because they weren't able to. They need to pump out a certain amount of electricity for it to keep going.
Shouldn't that just be
Um,
telling you that you don't need that much electricity from a power plant and run like
yeah.
storage battery things
Well,
instead?
the problem is because it's a parabola of need each day. It's like you do need it at this point, but you don't need it at these 2 points. So it's
Mm.
like, anyway, what they've now done, they've gone even further, and what they're doing is because the solar panels have smart like meters,
Mm.
um, they're going into those people's meters and shutting off they're allowed to now shut off their pool pump, their air conditioning, and their electric vehicle charging stations.
What?
Yeah, if they're not if they're using too much energy at the peaks.
What? So if it's a hot day and I switch on my air, they're like, nah.
Yeah, we can just go in there and turn it off, and you can't do anything.
So it's basically better to not have solar power so that it doesn't have that.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone's saying. It's like so weird. It's like
Yeah,
better just to be off the grid,
yeah,
ultimately.
yeah. Get yourself a huge battery
It's like I'll
bank.
fend for myself, thanks.
Yeah, go
Exactly.
send
See you later.
Elon an email. It's like, bro, need some
Yeah,
batteries.
yeah. My government's trying to oppress me.
Yeah, stop putting all your money into rocket ships and start making batteries for everybody.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I
So it's
can't believe
weird.
that
It's
they.
like,
I, I can't believe that they were first of all making a discount for everyone to get solar panels installed into their
yeah,
properties, and now are punishing them for actually for it working,
yeah.
for the system working.
Well in WA in South Australia, it's become too successful,
It's become too
having issues
successful.
now.
That's just stupid.
They've like destabilized. Yeah, they've destabilized their own grid without a plan to get out of it.
Oh my god. This is why I like half conspiracy theories out there. I'm just like, there's no coordination. There is no
Yeah,
coordination going on. People are
yeah,
stupid.
yeah. It's really bizarre. It's like it's so bizarre that they. I don't know. It's just such a weird rule to just implement, like, because you
Yeah.
feel like it.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah,
someone switching off my aircon in the middle of a hot day because they're like, yeah, it doesn't really
yeah,
fit with what we've screwed up previously. It's like, well, is your
yeah,
house connected to it, mate?
yeah.
Because
Exactly.
I can bet you
You're
it's not.
you're getting voted out.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, how to get you voted out of the system?
Yeah, yeah, we'll just
Turn off
have the votes on a hot day.
turn, turn off my aircon and like
Oh my god, that's
stop
so
like
dumb.
imagine getting in your electric vehicle thinking it's charged overnight and it didn't.
Yeah, because you have too much power being generated from
Yeah,
solar
and being
electricity.
like uh, uh,
Yeah,
what now I can't drive anywhere.
yeah. Now they'll start charging people for it next.
Yeah,
It's like you were trying to run your aircon at a time
yeah,
when you had too much
yeah,
power being generated. So,
yeah,
oh, that's annoying.
yeah.
Although on that,
Anyway,
like, there is no coordination, whatever. I was watching this thing with Russell Brand and Edward Snowden,
Oh yeah.
because he's apparently had a good old chat with him, and he's going to release it on his podcast. Now Russell Brand's going to release the interview on his podcast in a couple of days.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah, Joe Rogan one. Joe Rogan's one was awesome.
with Snowden,
Yeah,
how long ago was that one?
6 months ago or something. Maybe a
Yeah.
year ago. I've lost track of time.
I feel like I watched it and
Yeah.
I just didn't, or maybe I was like watching one of them and Snowden just talked the whole time.
Probably that one.
Yeah, it's possibly
Yeah.
that one because I don't know if
But
Joe
anyway, yeah.
could keep up with the
Yeah.
what was happening.
Well, I'm pretty sure Russell Brand won't let anyone talk for too long.
Yeah, yeah, he's yeah.
Let
But
me just say, hang on.
yeah,
This all comes back to the connected spirituality of the human race.
I'm changing my name to Russell Snowden. Yeah, no, he was saying that like the conspiracy theories, the real ones that are actually happening are not so much conspiracies. They don't really fall under the conspiracy title anymore. They're just like they're open, and they're to the point where it's like they'll just happily put it under like one of those banners under a news feed. Government
Yeah.
now is able to read all your emails.
Yeah.
In an attempt to stop terrorists, governments now have access to all network information tracking and will store it all on a third-party server or something.
Yeah.
And what they're saying is we're eroding your rights, and your right to information privacy and ownership. It's like we've just taken all that away from you. And he's saying, and it's happening so blatantly in front of people that it can't be called a conspiracy theory because those are the things that are hidden behind closed doors usually.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, and the amount of that's happening is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this vaccine passport thing is just ridiculous.
Oh man.
You know, it's just asking for abuse.
Yeah. Well, my dad was saying they're already in Australia, like forcing people to scan everything, or maybe it's in just Tassie, but it's just like,
Oh no, you have your like every time you go to the shops, please sign in
yeah,
and please download the app, but it's not enforced.
okay,
Like there's a clipboard at the door,
yeah,
and there's a little scanner code for you to scan.
yeah, okay.
You know, I
it's
don't
the
have
same
to.
how it
Every
is
time I
here.
go into Woolworths, I'm not signing in. It's like I don't.
Do you have like a guard there watching you?
No.
Do you
No.
have police coming and checking if you've signed in or not?
No, that's next month.
Yeah. Simon, we've noticed you've been staying at home all week.
Yeah,
Don't you eat?
this is-
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
this
think this
is-
is normal movement on your behalf.
Yeah, yeah, we have detected abnormal behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I'm signing in everywhere with my app because I'm told that if I catch COVID and I don't have a reliable track of where I've been, I'm not going to get paid for my medical expenses or my time away from work. And I'm like,
See, that's like,
that's not that is mandatory now.
yeah, that's very hardcore.
Yeah, but there's also if you get police will come around and randomly check restaurants and things, and if you haven't signed in, you get a 10,000 ringgit fine, which is like 3,000 Aussie bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think our level of COVID is dictating how much they care about it. Which,
Right.
because we've got very little, it's kind of like,
Right.
you know, and it's also Australia, so it's like, you know, I put the clipboard out. If someone wants to do it, they'll do it. And
No,
you know,
here there's
it's-
like a guard at the door, and if you try to walk in, they're like, no, you need to scan and sign in. I was like, sometimes
That's
you hold the
crazy.
phone up. I'm scanning in, like I said now, but you know,
Yeah. Well, there was actually at the pool, the public pool. What? At the public pool, we went to that, and there was a booth set up. Whereas normally, and they put a fence around the whole pool, so you had to go through this one entrance. Whereas normally it's just like the car park,
Yeah, right.
and you just go through into the pool wherever you want.
Yep.
There's no fence.
Yep.
Um, they had a specific like rat run that you had to do to get to the booth for the guy to say, "Hey, hey, hey, you, please sign in."
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that's the only place that's really, and it really is individual restaurants that are deciding whether they're going to enforce it or not.
Right.
It's like obviously the public pool is government run, so they're probably a bit more strict.
Yeah.
But the individual restaurants, they either have it or they just don't
Yeah.
care about
Yeah,
it.
because you're not getting
Yeah.
like outbreaks in restaurants or anything like that, are you?
No, none. No,
Yeah.
we've got none.
Yeah, so we're getting them
So
all the time here. So it's
yeah,
just
like
like,
Darwin, we just got 6 cases, but they came in quarantine
oh,
from India. So
so that doesn't
you know,
count.
it's like yeah, but it's still like that's as worried as you get. You're like, oh, they're in quarantine somewhere. Like
Yeah.
somewhere in Darwin, there's like some,
Right. Right. Yeah, so that's
some
not a.
but it's not 2,000 cases a day. So I
Yeah.
can understand where they get more desperate and be like,
Yeah. Well, they're not shutting anything down anymore. So they're just like, please just make sure you sign in. We're trying to track it.
mm,
But we're not going to shut anything down. So good luck. Yeah. That's. What is it? Oh, yeah, he sent one here. It's a quarter of virus deaths in Britain not caused by COVID, official
yeah,
figures report.
yeah. So that was an interesting one because it was the thing I found interesting about it was what I was talking about earlier, which is uh
The over reporting.
the yeah the over reporting of people with COVID dying and the under reporting of the people with the vaccine being linked to the vaccine, like the deaths being linked to the vaccine.
Right.
So you've got the one side which is like, we don't know because we want you to take the vaccine. So we don't know whether you're dying from
Yeah.
that. To the other side where it's like, did they have COVID when they had the car accident? They died of COVID. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
right.
like you you're getting those both sides of like
Yeah.
the yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the COVID caused them to become a bad driver. Therefore, they died
Yeah,
of COVID.
but it's also very yeah, it's it's a
It's.
very subtle but political motivated, and it's very driven for one outcome,
Mm,
which is do what we want. Um,
yeah.
you know that it's like I remember when COVID first happened. Do you remember seeing all the Chinese videos of people just falling over in the streets?
No. I remembered like
Yeah.
them doing the lockdowns and stuff.
Yeah, but like when it very first happened, like couple weeks in, there was all these like iPhone videos of like people just like riding or standing and then just going "Bleh," and dying. And then these people in white suits, like full hazmat, just running over and grabbing them and putting them on stretchers. And
I do not remember that. No.
yeah, yeah. So that like looking back on it, it just looks so hysteria making. Like it's so,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
that's
know, it
frightening, man.
was yeah, like
If I saw that, I'd be frightened.
yeah, but that didn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Everywhere else was
I mean,
just like, it's just the flu. Forget about it.
yeah, it's possible that it would have happened if people didn't get checked and just kept working. You know what I mean? Like if you're just like, I'm just going to keep working even though I've got the flu,
Mm,
but then you slowly succumb to it. But from the looks of it, like you mostly, by the time you're going to die, you're like incapacitated.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's right. You're in the hospital on the ventilator or whatever
Yeah,
machine they've got you
exactly.
on. Yeah, it it's so hard to tell because like because of the higher risk rate in the elderly, really all it's saying is we should be vaccinating high risk, and then the rest of everyone else, it's like, get back to work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, yeah. And so pretty much once you've got most countries high risk and elderly vaccinated, should be opening everything back up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's very weird.
right, here's one. I didn't read this one either. Human cells grown in monkey embryos spark ethical debate.
Yeah,
What were you sending me with this one? What is this?
it's just another one of these like weird ones where they're like, you know how they were building those like brain organelles and like they're they're splicing stuff. Now they're just like, oh, but if we put like some human stuff in the monkeys one, we can see what it changes. Like, what's the difference? Because we're
Yeah,
only slightly different, you know. So it's like, what if we put that in there? What does it actually grow and what does it actually do?
right.
But they're not allowed to have it go beyond, you know, X amount of weeks, and
20
then they have to
days. Yeah.
destroy it. Yeah. So, but it's just interesting that it's so well. One, it's like it's interspecies, and you can't reproduce interspecies.
Not
But
not yet.
true. But you do have this like weird thing where your DNA is compatible with every species because you all come from the same tree. So
Yeah.
you can swap what's the genes? You can do gene swaps, and actually like bacteria and um, viruses, I believe, do this all the time. Um, they only discovered this a few years ago, where bacteria actually um, replaces some of its DNA with other animals and plants, um,
Serious.
and like yeah, because it absorbs it through its membrane,
Yeah.
and then it just starts reproducing with it. And if it's a successful variant, then it'll just keep it.
That's freaky.
Yeah, yeah. So it's happening naturally at
Yeah.
the small like level,
Yeah, right.
but
That's it's not making highly complicated systems yet. Like it's making
no.
fairly
But
complicated systems, but
this is just natural.
yeah.
Like this is just a natural evolution.
Yeah.
One path of evolution for bacteria
Yeah.
is to absorb DNA from hosts or genes. I don't know if it's the gene or the DNA expression of the gene. I can't remember, but
Well, what is it? I got this Instagram feed that I'm following. It's called Jam and Germs, and it's this dude with
hmm
like a microscope, and he just basically
yeah,
scoops up water out of his pond, shoves it on a little plate, and looks at it. And you see all those, what are those little water bear things, the
tardigrades, yeah,
tardigrades or something? Yeah, and like you see those things floating around, and they're pretty cool looking. But there's these other bizarre ones. They'll go up to like they're like just a tube and a bean bag basically, and it's just like moving its way around, and then it'll find some sort of other algae or something, which is just a whole bunch of cells in a line, and it just
yeah,
goes boonk, shoots through the outer membrane, slurps up all the innards, and just like turns it into itself. And it's like these things are
yeah,
feeding on all the internal parts of a cell
yeah,
and turning it into,
while being a cell.
yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah,
no wonder these things are able to like just grab bits of
yeah,
useful DNA, because I'm sure they're not that different from each other either. It's just like this is
yeah, yeah.
99% of what makes me me anyway.
But they do have like not only interspecies, but like plant to animal and like weird stuff like that, where it's like
Wow.
you wouldn't think it would be possible. I'm not sure how high it goes up the the complexity scale. I don't know what the most complex thing is that can do this, but it's a very weird one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So these embryos were destroyed at 20 days of development, but it is only a matter of time before human, non-human chimeras are successfully developed, perhaps as a source of organs for humans. Sure. What we're going to be having is these little monkey butlers.
Yeah.
It's like semi-evolved. Bring me cocoa. Ooh, cocoa, cocoa. It's like I said, cocoa, not milk.
It's like, have you seen that? Have you seen that new Justin Roiland show? Oddity or something. I can't remember the name of it. Space something or other. Anyway, it's like Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Who posted that one up?
I don't know, but
It's
it's
not
hilarious.
it's not
It's like
Solar
absolutely
Opposites,
hilarious.
was it?
Yeah, that's the one. Solar
Solar
Opposite.
Opposites.
Yeah,
Right. Is that good?
yeah, it's hilarious. And they
I need to find that one. I
one of the
love that
first
dude's stuff.
episodes. Yeah, it's so funny. One of the first episodes is them like cloning. They see a TV show. They don't realize it's real. It's not real. It's got an alien in it, so they think that alien's real. And then they go to a meet and greet of this alien. It's just a dude in a suit, and they're aliens. So like they're like, oh, he's gonna be cool. He's gonna be awesome to hang out with. And they realize it's just some kid in a suit. And so they just like molecularly create that alien to be friends with. And
Okay.
then they like, so they just like create one of them, and he's like there, and they have fun with him. And then later on, stuff goes wrong, and then he's so like, let's create a less good one. And so they create this one that's like slightly demented. Anyway, but it's very similar to the monkey butlers because you're gonna have something that's not quite a monkey and not quite a human.
Yeah, well, I mean, geez, if come on, if I could like find a spare patch of land, build myself a little wizard tower, and start experimenting on all this sort of stuff, I'm gonna have a grove of centaurs
What was
before
it
you know it.
the island of Dr. Moreau?
Yeah, yeah, jeez.
Yeah, or you might have like South Park episode with the hot-bellied elephants.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's just yeah. I mean, I'm glad that they're limiting it to a 20-day thing and not growing it out yet. Because part of me, I know I'd vomit at like seeing the sight of some weird monkey human hybrid thing that they're
dude.
like,
If
oh, it's friendly, and then it's like biting at the scientist's face. And he's like, oh, like kind of.
what am I? What am I?
Dear, and all of us just sitting on watching, going, that this is our doom. They will take over. Oh
Why
god.
did you have to call it Caesar?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Father,
but it's also showing the level of capacity that they have with this like
dude. If these guys are
gene
ethically
manipulation.
making it, some wacky dudes are unethically making it.
Yeah, but
It's
it's not just that, it's the fact that they
this.
can even do it. It's like they've
Yeah,
gotten
yeah,
that techniques at it so good now that it's like we can take human DNA, shove it in a completely different species, and
yeah,
produce ourselves from it,
yeah.
or some sort of weird hybrid of it,
I
which
mean,
is
you're getting to the stage where you could like do that, like glowy skin from the jellyfish into someone.
oh yeah, yeah. How cool would that be? Or just being able to
Remember?
photosynthesize.
Yeah, but remember when they made like glowy mice?
I vaguely
They
do.
they they spliced jellyfish DNA with the mice. This was
Yeah, yeah.
15 years ago or something ridiculous. And they had all these glowing mice, and everyone was like, "Oh, isn't that cute?"
Yeah. Yeah, as opposed to that's frightening. I hope you
Yeah, and now they
killed. I
do it.
hope you got all
They
of
do
those
it.
ones.
I'm pretty sure they do it all the time to like get the um because it helps with some sort of way of um tracking stuff, how chemicals are going through them and stuff like that.
Oh, well, they inject like a radioactive dye so that they can.
No, no, no. I think they give them the jellyfish stuff because it does something. I can't remember,
Oh,
but from memory, that's what it. Yeah,
should look that one up.
yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah, the other one that I thought was cool was the one I sent about NASA's helicopter making its historic flight on
yeah,
Mars. So it just literally is like
that's crazy.
lands again.
Yeah,
But it's like that is the first ever human robot machine to fly on another planet, not a moon, an actual
yeah.
planet. I mean that's cool. That's really cool. I mean,
So cool.
I'd be very concerned about the giant dust storms that that's said to have um,
Mm,
on the planet. But
yeah, I just hope they get enough flight time to just have some cool flybys of stuff.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
that'll be awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, how cool would that be for, or how useful that would be for navigating the Martian terrain? It's like they currently running on
Yeah,
satellite photos. It's like, well, here's something that's flying a few
yeah,
feet over the ground. This thing looks interesting.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
bring the rover back and dig here.
yeah.
Because at the moment,
That's
like the
true.
rover's like
Yeah,
1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. Um,
yeah. But if you could just do a track of like
yeah,
100 meters, this is all clear. Just send the computer to do it.
yeah, yeah. But it must be so tough. You've got like a lower atmosphere, a different gravity affecting the unit as well. Um,
Yeah, yeah. It's been so fast.
yeah,
Like there is test footage here on Earth when they were doing it,
yeah. I saw that
and it's
one.
just
They
like,
like put it in a chamber where they lowered
yeah, yeah,
the
the
air,
atmosphere.
yeah, the atmosphere density
Yeah,
and got it flying around. But they managed to make it work. But I mean, you're operating a remote control from I don't know
yeah.
how
That's
far
the other
away
thing.
Mars is.
You'd have to really input the positions carefully.
Is Mars. Yeah. All right. It's 291 million kilometers from Earth. Um,
Is that all?
and what is it? Light travels at what 300,000 kilometers per second.
Yeah, say 360 or something. Yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, you're talking about a turnaround time of about 1,000 seconds, maybe a couple.
isn't it that 7 minutes of terror or whatever they call? Because that's how long it takes to come back.
Oh, is it 7 minute
Yeah,
turnaround? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it might be 14, might be like 7. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's what they call it when it lands, because it's already landed by the time they get the feed
Yeah.
to tell it that it's landed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
So they don't it might have crashed, but they don't know until they get the feedback.
All right. Yeah. So 1,000 seconds divided by 60. 16 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 14
Yeah,
from memory.
yeah.
But yeah,
That was a loose calculation.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah. That's a pretty sucky amount of lag
yeah. And
to
unescapable lag as well. Like you can't do anything about it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely
which is
nothing.
why, which is why they really want to get humans there, because it's
Yeah. Obviously,
like
it
they
would.
say, like the amount you can do with a human on a planet
Yeah.
compared to a robot is just so astronomically better.
Yeah.
Like as much as they always say, oh, sending out probes is far more efficient and blah blah blah
Oh yeah.
because it costs so much to,
Keep a human
but
alive.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also feed it and water it and toilet it and it's like you have there's so many extra systems.
Yeah.
And but it's like the amount you could get done.
Yeah.
You can just go, oh look, there's a bone. It's like,
Yeah.
whereas this computer's like drill for 5 seconds, sniff. There is
Wait
these
20 minutes.
chemicals,
Yeah.
and then it's like
Yeah.
there's like I think even this is it this one?
Oops.
that's collecting soil samples,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's
This
just
one's
keeping
drilling.
them
Yeah.
in. It's just keeping capsules for a
Oh.
future mission that will come and pick them up. So it's like
What? Oh.
so like the rover is driving, drilling,
Yeah.
taking samples, sealing them in bottles,
Yeah.
and storing them, and then it will have those for a future mission to come. That's going to be a return mission.
As opposed to getting the soil samples on the return mission one. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. It's like you're. It's so. It's like 20 years later, we might get.
yeah, right.
We might be able to fly something up.
Yeah.
And whereas if you got humans there, they're there. It's like,
Yeah.
what is it? Bring the astronaut to the Mars. Don't bring Mars to the astronaut.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because human, you just feed them a little protein bar, and they're like, "All right, I'm powered up for the day. Let's
Yeah,
go do a
exactly.
bunch of stuff." Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
it'll be very interesting.
also one of the students was showing me SpaceX's attempts at getting rockets up, and
Yeah,
their
they've
plans
all
are.
failed so far.
I mean, certainly their initial launches for a lot of things have failed.
Yeah,
They've managed to get some successful landings, but they've
yeah.
managed to get some unsuccessful ones too. But I mean, I guess that's part of it, right? Like,
No, I mean the S ones, like the S9, the S10, the S11, the ones that are like the big silver ones that are like,
yeah,
and they
they're
come fly over, and then they fall, and then they try and
yeah, like
land
try and belly flop
again.
fall and then
Yeah,
straighten up. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and
So
they've all
that
crashed. One landed and then blew up, but yeah,
yeah,
but his way of doing it is so much better.
you
Like,
reckon?
yeah, because it's the fast iteration. It's like
Right.
build it, send it up. Okay, how did that crash? Why did it crash?
All right.
Okay,
Let's
adjust.
adjust.
Build it, send it up, crash. Okay, why did that one crash? Adjust it.
Yep.
It's like if you've got the money, which he clearly does.
Yeah, it seems to just not stop rolling in for that dude.
Like it's the same way he did the landing, how to land a booster on a ship.
Oh yeah.
Like, have you seen that video? It's like
Not
I
on
think
the
it's called
ship. I've seen it
I think it's
land.
called "How Not to Land a Booster" or something. It's an official test. It's an official like video of his,
Yeah,
and
that
it's
dude's
just
so
like
cool.
it's just like constant rockets exploding, and then there's one that goes.
They're all like,
Yeah,
ah.
exactly. So it's just all of these, but it's just you can see it evolving as
Yeah,
you watch it,
yeah, it's getting
and so it's
progressively
like
better.
it's the fastest way to do it.
Yeah,
It might not
right.
be the most efficient, but it's the fastest.
Yeah, rather than like
And
working it out all beforehand.
yeah, trying to simulate it and then do it.
Yeah,
He's just like, no, just do it, just iterate.
yeah.
And
Oh, jeez.
this SpaceX just won I think it's like a $2.4 billion contract to fly to the moon. So for
That's pretty awesome.
NASA, like
Yeah,
SpaceX is going to be the rocket that takes the astronauts to the moon
that's so cool.
again.
That's so cool. Yeah, because
Yeah, and it's
there's
meant to
like
happen by 2025.
there's like a one called Shuttle or something like that. Can't remember the name of it, but it's one of those S model ones
Yeah,
that
there's
because there's
yeah,
what is it? There's like one that's the
Starship.
ship, the Starship, and it's gonna sit in orbit, and then they're gonna have another particular type that ferries people up and down to it and refuel and stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
then that one
Yeah.
from orbit will do the longer range missions because it doesn't have to shoot out of
Oh, okay.
Earth's lower gravity. It can be on the
Yeah. Oh, okay.
so he
That
has multiple sequence of different rockets to
yeah.
like mitigate
Well,
it
that
and
would be
stuff.
amazing if you got a stationary orbit refueling place,
Yeah, yeah, and
and or even
that's the
like a
idea.
moon one, even a moon base would be so
That's
much easier.
yeah, that's also the next step. So he's like, yeah,
Mm.
he's. I thought it was pretty cool because it's like instead of trying to build one giant ship that does the whole thing, it's just like, look, we're just going to
Yeah.
launch it up without the people in it first or whatever. It's going to sit there in orbit. Then we're going to do smaller missions with reusable rockets and reusable boosters.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They will then ferry up the additional fuel, the additional supplies, and the people. We'll put them all in. They'll all dock with each other and transfer over. And then from outer orbit, it just takes off out of orbit. You know,
That's crazy. It's very Star Trek.
yeah,
You know how you
but
have, remember how you had all those like,
yeah, the big space stations where the ships
yeah,
would
they
dock.
just
Yeah,
the ship in the harness,
yeah,
and they fly up or beam up, and then they like get in the ship, and the ship would like,
yeah. It makes so much more sense.
mm,
Like, yeah, um, but uh, that's obviously still a ways off. But
yeah,
the landing of the booster looks really cool. It's just
yeah,
this
it's
it's this
amazing.
tube and it's just like falling, 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 and then it falls straight and then just goes bonk and it just
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
yeah. It's
It's the
how did you
most sci
how did you land that?
it's the most sci-fi thing we've got
But
at the
have
moment.
like the thrusters, they're not fixed position thrusters either. Like they change
Yeah,
angles.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
so cool.
There's
I was watching them go, and the
yeah,
flames
yeah,
jetting this way and then that way, and then I was like, damn,
yeah. It's the
that's some
the Raptor
engineering.
engine. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the Raptors.
yeah. But
Crazy.
what is it? One of
But
those.
the big ship that he's gonna build has like 36 of those apparently.
Yeah, I think he wants to link them up together, like when they're up.
No, no, no. Like the
Oh,
big one, it's gonna have like 36
oh,
jets underneath it.
of those reusable booster jet things.
Yeah, like the engines. He wants 36 engines or something like that. Ridiculous.
Damn.
Because the ones he's testing at the moment are just small ones.
Right.
His plan is to make an enormous one. It's gonna look ridiculous.
Like ship, you mean? Enormous ship?
An
Yeah.
enormous rocket.
Yeah, right. So he's trying to iron out all the bumps to make sure the things don't explode.
Yeah,
Because I was watching those videos. It's pretty hard to see like
yeah,
the
yeah,
this big capsule thing come down. It's
yeah,
belly flopping. It finally like corrects itself to the
yeah,
upright position, and then it goes boom
yeah.
on the ground. And
Exactly.
you're like, oh, that didn't look a boom.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like the when you see the parachuters who open their parachute too late. It's
oh, I
like
saw one of those
they
videos
just
recently.
they
Oh,
just like they fire the jet like here just before it lands, and it's just like
yeah, yeah. He's just like, oh, that hit way too hard.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like another one, oh, it was so close. It really it came it upright. It came down. It landed, dunk, and you just saw that like that shock wave go through it. And then it's
yeah,
like 8 minutes later,
yeah,
because it
yeah,
split one of the oxygen tanks or something. And
yeah. It's crazy.
oh, jeez. But I mean, I first of all, the maneuvering of it doesn't even seem natural. Because it's
No,
just this
it's
cylinder. It should be like spinning, but
yeah,
it's just like,
it's so
nope, we're correcting this
counterintuitive.
way, and then we're
Yeah,
falling upright, and it's like, well,
yeah,
now that you're thrusting, shouldn't it be flying everywhere? No, it's just it's
yeah,
stable, and these jets that it has at the bottom are able to maneuver
yeah,
it to keep it upright. It's damn good.
yeah.
Uh,
It's like a self-stabilizing system.
Yeah, and the other nice thing
Crazy.
about it is because it is all set up for this testing, he's got so many cameras on it, and you can just see it from
Yeah,
every angle.
yeah,
It's like, man, this stuff
yeah,
is, yeah, it's very awesome.
yeah.
Um,
He's so public about it. It's amazing.
yeah, well, I mean, he hasn't gotten anything up into space properly yet, but it's already pretty damn exciting to see progress. The thing is, like, the
Yeah,
moon landing was what, back in the 60s?
yeah.
This,
65, I think.
yeah, 65. So
65, 66. Yeah,
that's going to be 60 years ago in a few years' time.
yeah,
That's ridiculous. Like this, the testing that
yeah,
he's doing now is the stuff that should have happened like 40, 50 years ago.
yeah,
It's
man.
just
They
crazy.
just it's weird how there's been such a lull.
Yeah. Considering the
Like,
amount of stuff we've got up in space.
yeah, it's like there's so much. It's kind of like been. It's kind of like been driven by the economic needs. So it's like they went up there. They're like, it's a big rock. Like, what are we gonna do? And then it's like, oh well, we got nothing to do. So let's just go back down. It's like, let's start playing golf. I know. Let's make a moon buggy and drive around. Okay, did that. Let's take some more rocks back.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
Couldn't start a war.
There wasn't any.
That's no
Yeah, there
point.
wasn't, and there wasn't. But they also couldn't start like an engineering thing either. It's like it wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, actually, like we can create this into something, and
Yeah.
it's very valuable. So let's bring it all back.
Yeah, that's right. There's not an abundance of resources there that are rare to find here. Like
Yeah,
if it was like a gas
yeah,
giant where you
exactly.
could do H3 mining or something, it'd be like, yes, let's make this happen.
Yeah,
But it's yeah,
yeah.
it's really
I
not.
think there is about a lot of. Is it? I think there is a bit of H3 in there, but
Oh, what?
in the dust because
Oh,
of the radiation. I think makes it
oh,
because it's exposed to radiation. I think it makes it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
no, no. But
Anyway,
yeah.
shall
Oh
we
yeah.
wrap up for with D&D?
Oh yeah. It's been an hour and a half already. All right. Yep. I totally forgot to look up
Yeah.
complex systems. That was the thing that I did want to dig into last one, but next time. It's
Oh,
too many
yeah, next time.
too many weird things going on. All right. Yeah. So D&D. Um, what did we do? Oh, sorry, I'm just writing a note.
Just I'm starting to think that I'm the only one that thinks about the campaign outside of the actual game.
No, no. All right. Yeah. No. Actually, okay. This time, yes, I did think more about it because we went to my character's hometown, which you have
Yes.
conveniently had everyone murdered in. So it's like, well, I've got no
Not
reason for
everyone.
existing anymore. It's like my
Not
purpose.
everyone.
My purpose is to make my parents proud, so I can become a chieftain in my village. Oh, my village is all dead. My parents are dead. Everyone's dead. Oh well. I'm gonna start
No, not
that
everyone.
dance class
A lot of them
choreography
is
that I've
tied
been.
up in. A lot of them are tied up in sacks,
Oh
being
yeah,
carried by frost giants.
so we're chasing down frost giants, which I don't think is a good idea. Um, not
Yeah,
not knowing much about frost giants and their power, what I was pretty
yeah,
sure was is that they're terrifying.
yeah.
Um,
They're pretty powerful.
yeah, and there's like more of them than there is of us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
There's 6 of them currently.
yeah, and there's four of us, five, including like my character's brother,
Yeah, your bro. Yeah,
who so far is like, you know, he's pretty excited about the fact that he could swing his sword at something, but he didn't seem all that experienced in it. It's like, wow, you guys do this all the time. It's amazing. It's like, oh god, we have literally fought our way out of hell.
yeah.
And you're like trying
He
to
does. He
chop.
does have your. He does have your dad's sword.
Yeah, yeah, that one. I'm not sure whether I should convince him to part ways with, but um,
Here,
yeah,
take this tiny little axe.
that's right. It hits much faster than normal. It's exciting.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a very different change of scenery from like hunting down a unicorn meadow in a
mm,
magical elf forest.
yeah. Well, you guys went pretty quick because you got a teleport scroll. So
Yeah,
that
the
was
problem is that's a one-way thing, and we are
yeah,
way, way far away from where we were before.
yeah. You're way up north.
So it's like I don't know what we could possibly do for that. We're gonna need to find a magic flying carpet or something. Because yeah, I don't know. Maybe Pegasus. We could
Yeah,
each have a Pegasus, but I don't know
an
what exists up in the
an
cold.
ice Pegasus.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We could get ourselves frozen in a glacier and have it
Yeah,
slowly drift over the continent to land in
yeah.
Daggerford.
You guys are in deep in the ice.
Yeah,
It's You're almost as far north as you can go on the Faerun map.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, well, into the areas where it was habitable at least. It's like there is still
Yeah,
land further
yeah,
than that, but it's just all the
yeah,
frozen wastes or whatever.
yeah, yeah. It's just like ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, but we didn't actually encounter much, did we? It was more just a
Well, you fought. Um,
oh,
you
some tigers.
you did make up time with some clever flying.
Yeah.
Uh, um, that was good. And yeah, then you guys were making camp and got ambushed
Oh yeah.
from some Smilodons. And then
Is
out
that
of the
the
water popped a giant, the salamander.
yes. Yes, that's right, which we obliterated. Oh, well, man, we destroyed
Yeah, you
those.
did pretty.
We destroyed those anything that got thrown at us that time.
Yeah, well, that was kind of like those salamanders. I mean, the Smilodons were kind of
The fodder.
the saber-toothed tigers for anyone that wants to know. We're kind of set up so you wasted stuff on them, and
Yeah,
then the giant thing would come out.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty
But
much the tactic. Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, it was looking to eat one of them. Um,
yeah. But
yeah, so you guys collected a bit of treasure from that, and
yeah, that
I
was
think
fun.
that's where we ended it.
Yeah, that was fun. I managed to hook it out of the river and drag it
Yeah,
up into onto the shore. And then the little
and then
halfling,
Guinness
yeah, Guinness
climbed
climbed
into it
inside its
now.
belly. It's just like so much treasure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun. And then my character's brother started
that was
eating the
funny.
salamander. Hopefully that turns out okay.
Yeah,
Don't know if it's poisonous or not, but so far,
true savage.
yeah, so far not too bad. But yeah, that should be
Yeah,
fun.
well, you kind of like,
Um, huh.
yeah, well, kind of the village is kind of like you where you're from because it's so sparse. Like they're sort of trained to. If you're hunting wild game, you eat them.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, if it doesn't look that much like us, we can probably consume it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I must admit, it's a little bit of a concern catching up with these giants though, because I'm still concerned. My character is not tanky enough. It's like,
oh, you learnt about your armor. That was a good thing. Esmeralda helped you with the armor.
yeah, yeah. I figured I'm gonna feed another 1,000 gold into the thing.
No, way more than that.
Isn't that what the?
No, you currently have fed in like 600 and something, and the next target is 4,000.
Oh, 4,000. Oh, that's right. I currently have 1,000 gold.
Roughly in it. Yeah. Oh, you might have 1,000 gold. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, I only fed in 600, huh? Jesus.
Yeah. I've been keeping track every time you say you touched it, and
Yeah.
then you stopped, and then I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
because I like
we'll just.
spent all this money and didn't know what was happening. It's like I could have just bought new armor.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, we've actually figured out a little bit more out about it, which would be
yeah.
pretty cool if that does do something more. But it's like,
And don't forget Guinness has that little mechanism that he's been goofing with as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean that made an entire group of gnomes disappear, like teleport away or something. So
Yeah.
could be good. No one's figured out what it does yet. Um, yeah,
Good fun.
yeah, yeah. There's a few puzzles going on in the
Yeah.
story, but yeah, I don't know. It's good to be out in the wilderness, but I really am not looking forward to fighting these giants because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get heavily destroyed. 6 at once is just gonna absolutely crush us.
Yeah. You'd have to be pretty lucky.
Yeah. So I think I don't think we can rush in, but I don't know how to do it.
Mm.
cast Reduce on Guinness, pick him up with a mage hand, fly him into there, start untying the bags and letting people out. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys could do a stealth mission.
I think that's got to be the way,
Mm.
unless we can like single them out one at a time. But other
Yeah.
than that, I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe you have to discuss tactics with the group when you.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be fun.
Mm.
But yeah, that's very much the start of this particular phase of this adventure.
Yeah, we only started this. This was the first one.
Yeah, it was good though. Everyone was back. Everyone was playing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice
No,
to
it's
get
good.
the feedback from everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
It's happening
No,
well.
it's awesome. I like having an NPC go
Oh,
with
yeah.
you guys.
Yeah,
Good fun.
yeah, yeah. It's good to bring in a little bit of fodder for us. I mean, obviously we'll try and save him. Brother, no! I'll fight him for us. Here's my sword.
Yeah,
Gonna get
brother.
smooshed.
No. Just,
Oh, look, I'm next in line for the throne. Wow.
well, you know, two are definitely dead. So there's
Yeah.
only five of you left.
Yeah, that's true. And one's with me, so it's quite potential that he's going to get turned into a smear on the rock somewhere. Yeah, no, that's horrifying.
He's very brave.
He's keen. He's keen for adventure. I like that side of him. Yeah,
Yeah, he definitely is.
yeah.
Oh, well, cool.
All right, may as well wrap it up. It's been 1 hour 40 already.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, okay. Happy